This is the Throstle Club with Norman Bartlam and Bob Downing. Now, anyway, we mentioned Valencia there, didn't we? And that was in the UEFA Cup tie. We'd already beaten Galatasaray and Sporting Braga by then, hadn't we? And we drew 1-1 over there, I think. Then we beat them in the second leg, and then went out to Red Star Belgrade after that. But the Valencia trip for you, Bob, anyway, back some really happy memories for you, doesn't it?
It brings back some traumatic memories. Yeah, I mean, that thing I said at the start, hello, Radio Telefonica Madrid. What happened was that, cut a long story short, we were on strike again. I missed all the good games, nearly on strike. But because we had a union meeting on the Monday night, they said I could go to Valencia. So it was a quick telephone call to Alan Everest in Valencia to say, is it all right if I come back with the team on the plane? And he said yes. I've got to get there. So I was taken by car to Castle Donington, as it was called then, to get a flight from Castle Donington to Charles de Gaulle. I then had to get a flight from Charles de Gaulle to Valencia after about a 4-hour wait in Paris. Got to the hotel and got everything right. And Nick Owen was doing Radio WBA, and he asked me if I'd do some, radio sort of shorts with him, during the commentary, and I said, yeah. Anyway, when we got to the stadium, there was a problem with the communications. Radio, I don't know, what was they called, Radio 2 then? Yeah, that would have been Radio 2. Peter Jones. Peter Jones was doing the commentary. And me and Nick were in one part of the studio, and he and somebody else was in the other. And all we could hear was, hello, Radio Telefonica Madrid. Hello, Radio Telefonica Madrid. And I just said to Nick, I said, what's going on next door? And he said, they got a communications problem. We could be moving. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, because it's Radio 2, they take precedent. So if they can't get the line through to Madrid, and we can, they'll come into where we are, and we've got to go into there and hope the communications work. So he said, yes, all right. And so we were all in the process of moving everything around, and then this fellow was saying, hello, Radio, hello, Madrid! And finally we got through. But I mean, by the time the communications were sort of back and up and running, they were ready to kick off.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I mean, that was the game that Laurie sold himself to Real Madrid.
Mm.
I mean, even the Valencia fans applauded Albion off that day.
Blimey.
And the cushions were coming on.
Yeah,
because they were always throwing cushions onto the pitch there. And, they weren't happy at all the way Valencia to play. Because, I mean, don't forget, apart from the fact they were in the UEFA Cup, they got Mario Kempis, who won the World Cup with Argentina, and they got Rainer Bonhoff, who played for West Germany.
Mm.
And they were expected to walk over this little town side from the Midlands. And,
from Sandwell?
Sandwell, well.
No. West Bromwich.
West Bromwich. And, so, I mean, that was quite traumatic, that was.
Oh, blimey.
Radio Telefonica Madrid. Yep. Now, I've been speaking to a couple of fans who were out there, Dean Walton and Tony Jones, and they were there just for the night. They went on a day trip.
As you do.
for an evening match, and flew back straight away, and this is what they had to say.
As the plane were taking off, Albion fans broke into knees up Mother Brown. And then as we neared Valencia, like he used to do on a coach, one of the Albion fans took a hat round for the pilot. It was the first time I'd ever been on a plane and been abroad, apart from a day in Calais when I was about 10. And with Tony, we flew with Dan Air, with the supporters club, literally from Luton Airport straight to the game. Got off the plane on a coach, got to the ground, walked in the ground, teams came out. The end of the game, straight on the coach, back to the airport, back on the plane, back on the coach and home. Same night.
We went to work in the morning. There was people on the bus reading the back pages, Albion had a good result last night and that. And we said, we were there. Nobody believed us.
That was the day. That was the game when Laurie Cunningham really sold himself to Real Madrid, wasn't it?
Yeah, best individual performance I've ever seen from one player. I think standing ovation from the Spanish fans.
The whole team played really, really well. I mean, you can say Laurie had a great game, but the whole team. I mean, we got annihilated in the first sort of 20 minutes. You know, we thought we were going to get thrashed, and all of a sudden we just seemed to pull it round, and it was a great performance by the whole team. And at the end of the game, we was, I don't know, somewhere in the concourse, and a load of these Spanish kids and blokes running towards us, thinking, "Oh, this is where it starts," and they just wanted to hug us and congratulate us on a good performance. Really, I think they realised, you know, what they'd seen that night.
This is the Throstle Club with Norman Bartlam and Bob Downing.